Hey chats, welcome back. Day 41 of the Need for Speed Marathon. We're getting close to the end. We do have some bonus content after Unbound. But for now, that's the last Need for Speed in the franchise. You guys excited? You guys ready? Yeah, this is the main part, version 1.1. Unbound Remix now has its very own soundtrack. Music Remix Pack. I'm not sure if it's any good or not. Alright, Lambo time. So I'm on the basic mod right now, no additional adjustments. Also means we have to deal with the game's handling model. And I know that's everyone's favorite.
Huh?
Oh, interesting, it was a ghost car. The mod should also buff the cops. So I'm curious for that. Hey, Drive Club music. Fast do you wanna go? Nice. Oh, way better music. Way better music. I mean, it is the easiest thing in the world to improve the music of Unbound. That is very true. Very, very true. Yeah, there should be a lot of cutscenes replaced. Let's see what the mod has to offer. I'm kind of curious. Asphalt. Is there yellow montage from Asphalt? Thank you so much for adding better music. I wonder how you would approach changing the handling here, because you do have a handful of events where you need to drift, just like in 2015. Lots of events require you to drift. At least now we have cops, okay? maybe they turn on the cop music for the events that have cops in it. Original trails all the way. Yeah, I like those more too. I mean, they actually kept a lot of things the same from Heat. Where, you know, initially it felt a lot like just Heat 2, but it didn't really stick to it. I think the thing that I like the most so far is the new soundtrack. You can actually listen to the game soundtrack now. Sidewalks in any of the Ghost, and I guess also Criterion, because it's the same engine, Frostbite engine, is just a problem. Sidewalks always lift the car and then you can barely get a grip of your car again. You know what I was thinking of? So the game can definitely differentiate between the car being on the ground and not being on the ground. My idea would be, if the car gets airborne, it doesn't know that. Like, the car is always hitting the ground, you know, in the game's code. So even if your car gets lifted off the sidewalk, it doesn't register that. So it wouldn't change the handling and it wouldn't fuck up the player. I think that could actually vastly improve the handling in this game. What I do like is that you get a pretty fast starter car. Not sure how fast the first car is gonna be that you buy. It's not gonna do 280 though. Yeah, the one thing there's actually two things I didn't understand. The weird implementations of DEI, and the other thing was this political agenda in the radio. It has nothing to do with the rest of the game. It's just a story that is being told, and it's super dumb. I'm always wondering what exactly, or rather, maybe not what exactly, but why the reception of this game was so negative. I mean, I heard all of the arguments against it. I just feel like the reaction about it was a lot stronger than I expected. But I know why people didn't like it, but I was surprised by how overly negative the reaction was because of it. But yeah, you can just move on if you don't like a song. D-pad to the right to skip track. Yeah, I noticed that as well. Like, very little people actually played Unbound. But primarily because the reviews were so bad. Which is kind of understandable, right? Like, if you hear a review about a game and it's negative, then why would you buy it and play it yourself? But the chances that you're just gonna repeat what you heard in the review is a lot more likely, right? I do totally agree with one thing. It did not respect the community whatsoever. It just gave Need for Speed fans everything they didn't want. All in one game. It's not entirely true, obviously, but it's pretty true. A lot of things. Okay, let's make it different. For everyone that played the game, what made you hate it? Right? What didn't you like about it? What are the things that ticked you off? Right? Like, what were the real reasons that you're hating on this game? I think those are the interesting answers. I mean, the soundtrack, number one, that was the first thing I noticed. The soundtrack in this game is so bad, it's insane. It's actually so bad. You did have to abuse a lot of the handling stuff, which was weird, I agree. Actually, every time I replay the game, I'm working on the speed pass. How is it abusing if it's a game mechanic? I understand your argument. At the same time, you really do drive like an absolute idiot in order to be fast. I think that's the problem here. It's not about using the in-game mechanics. It's that the most optimal in-game mechanics make you drive really strange. Right? It's just unsatisfying way of moving. Right? The problem really isn't is that you use what you've been given. It's just that it's fucking dumb. It gives you a very different feel music like this. It makes the race better. I mean, you could argue that abusing the game's mechanics is skill too. True, but it's not the typical racing skill that people are looking forward to in a racing game, in my opinion. Instead of learning weird mechanics. I think most of the cringe songs, if not all of them, have been removed. Yes, completely new playlist. So listening to the in-game soundtrack now from the mod. Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. They definitely tried to appeal to the Fortnite kids, which did not work whatsoever. Because honestly, Need for Speed at this moment has primarily its core fans. And shitting into the food of the core fans, probably not a good idea. The thing is, they just never listen, right? They just refuse to believe what we tell them, right? They feel like they're so smart. They feel like they know it all. And then if they get presented the result, they're like, oh, whoa, no, that doesn't make sense. Why? Nobody could have seen that coming. Nobody told us. It's been a very long time since I played Unbound. I kind of forgot how to do the basic progression in the beginning. Alright. Monkers. That's so much better music though. So much better. Yeah, I mean, shit music, shit characters, shit theme. Yeah, I mean, I understand why people didn't like Unbound. I gotta be honest, the addition of pedestrians in this game meant absolutely nothing to me. Like, I can't say I gave a single shit about the inclusion. You never in the main cities, you never see the pedestrians. Yeah, but even if you do see them, I just say it doesn't really matter, right? That's how I felt about it. Do you think they will ever have the opportunity to make the Need for Speed that they want to make and get enough time? So this is where I always look at the minimap. I'm like, okay, I need to go here. Why would I go here if I can go straight first and then go over there? Especially it comes with a cool jump. Yeah, steering. Shit. Okay, maybe avoid the jump, or if you do the jump, aim a bit differently. I don't even think it's the voice acting. I think it's just really ass dialogue. Like, the script is just shit. Even if you had like Morgan Freeman and a bunch of other amazing voice actors doing this, it wouldn't be much better. I think we have to redo the fitment of some of these cars. Thank. What happened? I'm actually wondering what the best and the worst characters in this game. I feel like she might still be the most interesting character of them all. Oops. Perfect. And sing with the drop. You think she's the worst character? I don't know. I actually think she's more interesting than all the others. The main character, Rydell, Jazz, they all suck. And same goes for every other character this game shows for a short time. You like the animated characters? No. I like the characters more like they were in Heat. I found it extremely unnecessary to make these cartoony characters. Sure, it would work better Need for Speed Nitro. At the same time, Nitro wasn't a game that wasn't very successful. So I just don't understand why they thought it was a good idea to bring it back for this. I mean, the most opinions that I see on the internet is you know, people saying they tried to, you know, impress the Fortnite kids with a racing game. I'm just not really sure how you even inform the Fortnite kids this game exists. Like, I can't imagine a kid that plays Fortnite all the time to be suddenly interested in racing games. The thing is, they should have known at the very least that this particular identity does not work with its fan base, right? The current fan base of Need for Speed has just no way to they have no way to relate to this game. And that's a huge problem. Will they finally listen? to the feedback of their long-term fans, or are they gonna try to hit something new again? Oh wait, they're all pretty weak. With the exception of the Eclipse here. Oh, is that the one from Melissa's Custom Eclipse? It's the one from Underground. It's actually a really good starter car. Okay, we definitely have A events. It's actually quite nice that we can dodge the B class entirely, because the B class is way too slow. So we do have buy-ins. You know what I find so weird about buy-ins? You have to do the math in your head all the time. Like I know I have to 3,000 in, 6,000 out, so I get 3k. 3 in, 6 out, 3k. 1 5 in, 2 7 5 out. I get 250. No, 750. No, it's also not true. 250 is what I get. 250. Now I got it. That's why I think it's so stupid to have buy-ins, because you get the difference anyways. I just found it so unnecessary. It's just gonna give you temporarily burden because you can't enter certain events. I think it's just more annoying than anything. How did he do live tuning in this game? Oh, it's here. You like the new voice? Well, it's not permanent. As I said, you know, record your audio bits. You need them for future purposes. So DB5, one of the most sought after collector's cars, completely destroyed and slapped on with a terrible livery. Hey guys, screw here, check out Instant Gaming for cheap game keys. Link in the description below. That what you wanted? One of the good songs this game has to offer. Actually, here's a fun thing. I feel better, but I sound much worse. You know, yesterday I was super sick, and that is what destroyed my voice. So today, it's the aftermath of my vocal cords being swollen. But I feel a lot better. Like I can definitely feel I'm on the recovering end of things. Come on. Why did that crash me out, man? The cool thing is, since we put everything on YouTube, we're gonna have some really nice highlight video of my voice being destroyed.
Yes.
They implemented off-roading a lot more sensibly in this game than they did in Unbound, in Heat. Like Heat's off-road was really pointless. Right? Not everything Heat touched was gold. Even Bernard songs. Yeah, this music mod is super nice, isn't it? Shouts to the remix team. They do have the usual suspects that are modding a bunch of other Need for Speed games too. So any cool events at night? Oh wait, there's events. Oh yeah, Volume 7 race. It has an R on it. I'm not sure if that means it's by the remix team. The R logo usually means that the race was added to story mode from online mode and new track. Oh, okay, cool. Let's do that. Thanks, man. I kinda wanna add that feature again, where you can teleport anywhere. I don't really enjoy driving everywhere. Like if I could teleport here again, I would like that. I feel like Need for Speed was always better when there were pursuit breakers. I feel like the buffed music makes such a big difference. You know, I like listening to games soundtracks, but if they suck ass, then honestly I don't really care about it, which I guess makes sense. So now we listen to the song selection from the mod makers, and so far so good. And you can always skip it, right? D-pad to the right, you can skip a song if you don't like it. I don't think I can find 25% of the songs in the vanilla version of this game that I like. You're feeling sick from hearing my voice. I'm sorry. The good thing is when you're already in escaping mode, you can go straight to the garage. You don't have to evade first. Which is the right thing in my opinion. That's how it should play. Holy crap, 36k? What is this? Olympic Dash. See, that's the kind of shit I want to do. I genuinely think they're overthinking the handling model for this game way too much. Like, instead of keeping it simple and just creating a grip handling model and a drift handling model separately, without the sliders, would have worked a lot better. Right? You just dial in the settings for each. And you're good to go. Man! Yeah, one thing I underestimated is how much people actually like the drifting in Payback. Something I've definitely gathered from your feedback. Bit surprised about that, not gonna lie. Bro, I'm already on the high. I'm already on the highest difficulty. What do you want? Why is the game telling me to turn on the difficulty when I'm already here, man? And the cops are really dumb. Let's look at this cop. What he's gonna do here. Okay, this is extraordinary dumb. This is more dumb than usual. That's a lot more dumb than usual. So did I get? Yeah, okay, I got 1,000 for escaping. Usually I just stand there and wait him to bust me. Okay. Didn't expect him to wreck his car. Yeah, we have to. Oh god, we have to skip so many days, man. Or we just do an event that gives us a bunch of cash. But I will say though, I kind of like the structure. The only thing that I would change and that I actually like more in the other games or in the other mods is that you can teleport. I really like not driving everywhere. So I'm missing teleports. Yeah, I think a lot of people appreciate the option to just start the next event. Things I don't really want to do anything. I just wanna. Here's what I want as a feature. Just allow us to pick the next day, right? I have everything ready. I have the cash. I have the car. Like I could join the qualifier right now, but the game forces you to do every day, every night, and there's nothing you can do about it. I find that very frustrating, and most people do. That you're forced into this progression, and there's nothing you can do about it. So there's two options. Either you make money doing anything at night, or you get busted. And the speedrun consists of doing this 30 times. It might be more. I haven't counted it. How many days you need exactly, but that's what you do. In order to advance time, you get busted. That's reliable, that's quick. It's boring. It takes really, really long if you do something every day. Like if you were to just drive to meet up, do a race and then go home, it would take a really long time. So now we can finally get into the qualifier. Look at this, right? Like we got, look what I did. I played day 1 and I played the beginning of day 2. And then everything else, I didn't do anything. I crashed 2 bears, escaped 1 cop chase, then I got busted 6 times to get to the qualifier. That's the stupid thing about this calendar, because you cannot skip dates. That's where they fucked up, in my opinion. Not giving the player the opportunity, and they didn't even patch it in. I straight up told them to their face, this is a feature that would be really nice. People are complaining about the progression and the lack of flexibility. You could just add the ability to choose a different date. They were like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then it was never added. Right? They cannot even say they didn't hear my plea, right? Well, you do get your money back at least, right? You need the money to enter and you get it back. That's the premise of the entire game, right? The only thing where you don't get your money back is when you do. That's weird though. You know these events where you can win a car, you buy it for 12,000, then you get the car, but you don't get your money back. So you basically buy a discounted car if you win, and that's just weird. That's a huge money sink in this game. So, finish in the top 3. Mario Kart stole this feature. See, if you actually put good rap into this game, I'm okay with it, right? Mods can start the song.
What is your...
I would probably look inside Most Wanted. Although I think the best soundtrack is Pro Street. My favorite song is probably something from Most Wanted. But I always found funny in these qualifier races that it can eliminate Yes early on, and then she stops talking to you. Although that's primarily irrelevant in the last qualifier, when she actually, well, it's not even the qualifier. When in the grand itself, Yes is talking to you all the time. Unless you eliminate her early, then you have no dialogue with her whatsoever. So the developers did think about this. I'm surprised it's allowed to happen though. That you could straight up miss out on Yes talking to you. That did genuinely surprise me. Oh, so close. You see the trick? When you go up the walls and you slide down and you speed up. That was a lot better than the last attempt. But the trick I was talking about is, it's kind of cool. If you drive up the walls, the moment the car slides down, it gets a speed boost. It looks really funny online when you have like a bunch of people abusing this. Right, you speed up because of the fall you get from gravity. What I personally noticed with Unbound is that a lot of people never even played it. A lot of people don't know it exists. Like, a lot of people think Heat is the last Need for Speed title. Because even EA abandoned Unbound on release. Like, they didn't give it proper marketing. They didn't send out review codes to the reviewers. Like, here's a fun fact. On the day of the release, we got a PlayStation key in the morning. Like, off the release day. I think at like 9 AM in the morning we got an email with the PlayStation version, so we could play it a little bit early. Like, I think like 5 hours or so before it released for everyone else. A Volume 9 race, intro race remix. Intro race, interesting. I'm a bit disappointed it doesn't show you the kilometers. I'd like to see the length of the event. There's actually a lot of money to be made on drift events. I just never cared about it too much. Right, I didn't like the drifting, to be honest. Didn't like the drifting in this game. So couldn't care too much. I mean, Unbound isn't all bad, but you might be less annoyed if you just skip all of the story-related dialogue and cutscenes. Just concentrate on the gameplay. But then, you know, then I still get annoyed that the handling doesn't work exactly like I would like it to. You can get a pretty decent experience by focusing on grip, but there's plenty of situations where break to drift gives you an advantage, so, you know. I think you're actually gonna have more fun just doing one event each half day, so you don't have to get busted all the time to advance the storyline. The thing is, they did add a lot of online entertainment to this game, but like a year later, right? Or 2 years later? Was it? Yeah, it was the Volume 9 was the 2-year update, right? Like, it took them a very long time to add any meaningful content to this game. What's this? That's kind of nice. You actually get your cash back on this one, but it's a drift event. Don't really want to build a drift car. It's just not fun to me. It took them way too long. Like, after such a long time, most people already moved on. He's GTR, I like it. not Carol Monroe, the Jules. I was just thinking about the GT. I mean, if those are modern versions of the Blacklist, that's not even bad. Like, in the past, whenever they tried to do the Blacklist cars, they used worse models. At least this time they got stronger, newer models. You know, you could argue they upgraded. I mean, going from an RX-8 to an R35 is quite the upgrade. GTA Online is Midnight Club if you're delusional enough. It's kinda true. I always said, like, Midnight Club, if we're lucky, we get a Midnight Club themed part in GTA 6. Right? They're never gonna, in my opinion, they're never gonna make another Midnight Club. Because it's easily doable within GTA, right? So the best chance for any kind of Midnight Club revival is just a game mode within GTA 6. Like, everything is there. Right? A good enough handling engine. The cars. Like, it would be Midnight Club without licensed cars, which would be fine for me. I don't care about that too much. If you give me a bunch of lookalikes, you know, if it looks like a Corvette, I'm happy. If it looks like a Porsche, a McLaren, I don't care. Like, we all clearly know which car it's supposed to be, it looks like it. And then it just has a funny name. But yeah, if it comes with a fun handling model, then sign me up, dude. Midnight Club within GTA. I'll take it. I will say though, the crashes in this game look more interesting than most of the titles that are running on the engine. But the crashes in Frostbite engine usually look pretty bad. I actually think it's slightly better in this one. And I do like the fast respawn. If you watched me play Payback or Heat, especially Payback, has insanely long loading times on a crash. The game is lagging because they changed something with the Volume 9 update, and it negatively affects the single player. Apparently it's performing certain checks if you've done something or not, and that makes the game lag. The single player experience actually got worse. And it's not like you can easily downpatch the game. I'm not sure if you can downpatch the game at all. Right, they had enough time to implement the patch So you had new features, which are actually really good. Like the online features, the new ones, definitely make the game better. Let's see what happens. It's not like we have been in this place many times over, but it still makes it lag somehow. No, the status are getting worse. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We're getting more and more of them. Do you like it? Yeah. I just have to ignore all the things that I don't like about this game. It's not a bad game, but the theme is so bad. Like, I don't like the characters, I don't like the comic effects, I don't like the anime characters. Like I basically hate the story and the art style and the choice of the handling that they decided on. You combine all of that together, it becomes kind of annoying. There's still plenty of good things and ideas in here, and they actually supported the online this time. I gotta give them credit for that. That's the one thing that came from the Need for Speed Council that I'm always be proud of. Is that we actually, you know, managed to get together and get updates for Unbound that made the game better. But the damage was already done, right? Like, this game was already universally hated, right? The major issue with this game, most people didn't even play it once. Right? They just, you know, listened to my feedback and other people, obviously. And, you know, the general consensus that people don't like Unbound. Like, they either didn't buy it or they didn't play it, right? Like, this game was available for $5 so many times over and people still don't buy it. Okay, so now we are basically not relying on any brake to drift anymore. This car is fully tuned to grip, which was always my preferred way to play this game. So GG Duck in the house. Nice remix. Thing is, you still hold the handbrake to get like really tight corners. Yeah, it feels a lot more natural. Brake to drift in this game is kind of gimped by the grip interfering. So if you just tune your car for grip, it's better. And gripping also gives you these special boosts, so it's balanced in that regard. I swear, the longer I stream, the deeper my voice gets. I wonder if I should lean into it. Try to get it even lower. Hey guys, it's time to test the bass on your sound system. Are you ready? This might actually be the most fucked up my voice has ever been on stream. You know, you had to be quite skillful to take out the chopper with a pursuit brake and most wanted. But that's what I like, right? Like you had to play it just right to also crash out the chopper on a pursuit breaker. That was fun. Just for the difficulty involved. Do people still treat me with 2 Black Betty? Sometimes, yeah. I wish more often. But even grip feels pretty janky in this game. That was weird. It wasn't a drift, but it wasn't gripping either, so I got no reward. What is this? What the fuck, dude? The autopilot just drove me into the wall. Oh, true, yeah. This one. Left, right, left, right. The Toxic Avengers. Okay, let's bank the shit. Pro Street music is a mega vibe, though. It just gives you such a different feeling, man. So, how much money do I need? 185,000, okay. We're actually gonna have to do stuff this time. There's a drift event again. What I find so weird is that they kick you out. Like, you don't get returned. You don't get returned to the meetup after an event. But they kept it a little bit too realistic. Like, you end up where the event ends. 30k. What is it? Yeah, as I said, like, if I knew this was a thing, I would have teleported here. I actually really took my time with my first playthrough on this game. I think it took me 3 streams to get through the game. Because I did do everything on every half day. Yeah, presses. For me, it's the other way around. Like, sometimes I want the day to go over fast and I can't because I need to pick up a bear or do some random shit just to have some money. But yeah, it's like the same problem, just backwards, right? Like, sometimes you don't want time to pass. Sometimes you do. Like, they should have just given the players more freedom on how to advance time in this game, and it would be fixed, in my opinion. right? Most of the time I don't want to do anything in that particular time of day, but I have to. And for you, it's the other way around, right? You just wanted some money for upgrades, but you didn't want to advance the time. What modern Need for Speed do I recommend? Well, I would actually say you can play this game with a handling mod if you wanted to, or just play it on grip only. You know, at the mod that we're using today, the remix. But if you just want to play a game out of the box that is modern and that is fun, Hot Pursuit Remastered, you can play Heat, probably the two modern Need for Speed I would actually recommend. And Payback is fun, in my opinion. If you can ignore that the game has a weird upgrading system, it's a pretty fun playthrough. Isn't it crazy that my voice kind of returned to normal now?
Got a car I need you to collect. Sending you the
how does that work?
Got the pin.
My voice got worse and worse and worse, and now it's better.
Not on this one.
Next Need for Speed. If we're lucky in 27. If we are somewhat lucky in 28. If we're unlucky in 29. They're gonna let us wait, man. They have more important projects like Battlefield and just updating the Frostbite engine. Shit. That wrecked the cop and I can't move anymore. Wait, is this the game? There we go. No, fucking jumper! What do you mean? Will the mod keep the game alive for longer? I mean, you don't really have much choice anyways, right? We're gonna have to wait until the next Need for Speed whenever they feel like releasing it. So I would say the future will tell, but for now we don't really know anything about next Need for Speed. I mean, the next Need for Speed that we might get our hands on is the Need for Speed Mobile. Did it call it Need for Speed Online? I forgot what. Nah, they called it Need for Speed Online over in the Asian region. Oh yeah, tune this car for grip so we don't break the drifting anymore. I mean, most mobile games are alright until to the point where they ask you for money. Because once they start asking, they never stop. They're like, hey, you spend $1? Why not spend $5? You spend $5? Why not spend $10? Or you spend $10? Why not spend $20? Or you spend $20? Hey, how about this $50 package? Oh wow, you bought the $50 package? Hey, here's a $100 package. The thing is, mobile games usually are less a product than regular games, yet they demand more money for it. It's the weirdest thing. It's just a play on human psychology, why it works. I actually don't think that GTA will increase all game prices. I'll tell you why. When the games suck, the prices go down. The new Pokemon game has a lower price, although it's a new game, right? They're not asking $60. Like, go to Amazon and, you know, try to buy the new Pokemon ZA. It's not $60. It's definitely not the $80 that Nintendo tried to charge for their games. Like, if people are not willing to pay that much, you know, they're just gonna be sitting on their games. I mean, they can try to set a new standard, but yeah, I think you can see it at Nintendo already. Like, if the game isn't good enough, people are not willing to pay more. Very, very simple, in my opinion. Right? GTA might be the only game out there that can ask for $100 for the base version. A little bit deeper, yeah, a little bit deeper, but overall better. Need for Speed 3 location, yep. A lot of shoutouts were always made by the Unbound devs to classic or generally older Need for Speeds. I can't honor them by making better games. That would be the dream, right? In my opinion, it is so dumb that they have had the best-selling racing game franchise in the world, and they still are unwilling to invest the necessary amount of money and time to make good games to actually keep it alive. Like, it's a classic case of, you know, killing the golden goose. I do wonder, though, if any of the offspring teams of Forza Horizon are gonna make good games. That remains to be seen. You know, sounds reasonable on the surface. Practically, let's see what they can do. One thing that bothered me with all of the Ghost games is that you have to scroll through the list this way. Why is it not a grid? Why is there no easy way to switch between manufacturers? Like, they've already seen how it works, right? Like, you go to go to Forza Horizon, that is exactly how a car selection screen should work, where you have hundreds plus cars. Right? Because putting everything into like a long string of cars is idiotic. It's really hard to actually find the cars or even compare them. If you just go through them one by one. I remember they asked us if Rocky deserves to be on the car. I was a bit split on that, because I didn't really like Rocky's car too much. Also, he's on there twice, right? He's on the left front and then he's once again here. Now when then. But the same thing with his 80, right? Basically, it went diagonally, right? That's why it is how it is, right? Green diagonal, orange diagonal, Rocky diagonal, then on the front M3. Didn't I get this one for doing lockdown? I think it was part of the speed pass. I kind of forgot, to be honest. What game should you start with? I recommend High Stakes. That has more content than Hot Pursuit. Hot Pursuit in general can be skipped. The entirety of Hot Pursuit is in High Stakes. And Need for Speed 1 and 2 might be too low on the graphic side for, I would say, most people to enjoy. The thing is, the handling in this game is just janky. It doesn't do much at first and then it goes a lot. I don't understand how they didn't notice that while making the game. I'm actually really mad that they didn't ask for advice before they released this game. I don't think I have ever seen the community being so negative about a new Need for Speed. Right, even Payback was better received in this game. Sure, people were moaning about microtransactions and a stupid upgrading system, but once they've said their piece about these two things, you know, people were still fine, you know, playing and watching Payback. At least from where I was sitting. Then everybody was kind of loving Heat, and Unbound was the opposite. Unbound was so negative all the time, non-stop. Like, people just couldn't shut up about how much they disliked this game. You know, in which case I'm wondering, did they even try to test this game on a group of their fans, right? Like, usually you would get a focus group together, right? You would get people together that actually like Need for Speed titles, that, you know, have some feedback. Okay, what is it about all Need for Speeds that you liked that you're now missing? So let's make sure that we put it back into the game. But they didn't do that. I think the initial focus group that they did have was a bunch of variety YouTubers and influencers that were not invested in racing whatsoever. And it makes a lot of sense that that didn't work, right? Like, if you show this to a variety casual person, then they like everything, right? And I would probably say that they didn't really understand racing as a whole anyways. So they're just gonna say yes to everything anyways. We're frustrated and sad. No, I was fine. My first playthrough was the best of this game. That's when I enjoyed the game the most. The new game smell was still fresh. And it was also motivating that we had a bunch of people watching, right? That was something. You know what I'm gonna try to do? I'm gonna try to be on the dev team for the next Need for Speed. I will offer them my services in regards of especially handling. I think the thing I'm most qualified for is judging if a handling for a racing game is good or not. But yeah, it's not gonna stop me from telling them, well, your characters are kind of weird. I don't like him. Yesterday when someone asked me something, I nearly, well, not spoil it, but I nearly broke NDA. I nearly told something I am not allowed to tell. I guess I just have a hard time caring for anything in this game because I just don't like the characters, right? I don't care for my character. I don't care for my team. I don't really care about my opponents either, right? Like, I'm just completely uninvested in this world. Maybe the repair was ready. But yeah, usually you're fine in this game. This critical mechanic where you basically recharge a little bit of life to have like a one-off protection That works really well. No. Wait. Was there a hitbox on the water? Did you see that? I slammed into the water, I didn't sink. Oh shit. Oh yeah, interesting, that killed the cop. Because he crashed into my corpse. This is the only car you enjoy using? Really? There's a handful of really grippy cars though. This is just one of them. Yeah, I don't think the crew guys like me. I never got invited to anything of the crew events. Who knows, maybe they know that I didn't like the crew too. So I didn't get invited for the crew Motorfest. The crew 2 was so much worse though. I mean, they want the positive echo chamber, right? Like any big company. The first thing that I remember from the crew 2 was this annoying character in the wheelchair. The one Bug Sailor and TDU came out, that was funny. That was a brutal business move. You know, you could overspend on TDU that people don't like, or you could just get your hands on the crew 2 for one bug. That was evil. Like this gameplay loop of go out of the garage, go to the meetup, start the race, and then you have to go to the meetup again, right? You don't even stay. You don't even stay at the meetup to do multiple races, right? Because you go out of the meetup, you do the race, then you raced, and you're somewhere on the map. Then you have to continue to the next meetup. Like this gameplay loop was very tedious if you ask me. Not having the ability to fast travel, I think, kinda sucks. I think fast travel is such an easy feature to implement, and it is optional anyways, right? If you wanna free roam, you can, right? Like nobody forces you to use your teleport. Why can't I set the route just because I'm being chased by a cop? This stupid shit. Thing is, when you help them, you get money and the hideout. If you don't help them, you have to buy the hideout. Next cutscene, Shaw takes us down. Dude, Need for Speed has a lot of those characters though. That I just mentioned by name and then they don't appear ever. Payback is like a masterclass for that. There's so many characters you only hear about and you never see. Collector, gambler, broker. Yeah, the open fields of nothingness, they are not super exciting. You know, at the very least, it doesn't have to be everywhere like this, you know? Maybe you have like a golf course that can be used for that purpose. Or you have the airport. You know, thank Forza for this. I mean, I wouldn't even be mad at Forza because they are doing it right. So at least they're doing it better than everyone else. Like, in my opinion, you can't be mad at Forza for being successful. You can't be mad at everyone else that tries to copy them and fails. Why are you here? Oh, you're not even ghosting after respawn. Holy shit, dude. That was abuse. I really like that new mechanic where you have this burst nose. The problem is that the handling changes so much when you use it. You know, one thing I noticed over the years though is that I got more accepting for major flaws in games.
I sure hope Rydell doesn't hear about that.
Like, I'm sure I would have had a lot more negative things to say about Unbound if I would have played that game immediately after I started streaming. But I'm definitely bargaining with myself that, okay, it's not that bad because it has this. I definitely became more optimistic and less pessimistic. But for the sake of staying sane. So accept TDU? No, TDU is so bad that it's unacceptable. Dude, I like Burnout Paradise when it released. And I can guarantee you, no one will like Unbound in 5 or 10 years. There is no way people are looking back on Unbound and be like, oh, this is actually kinda good. No, it's not. Even if you fix like the biggest issues this game has, it's still mediocre. You know, just because it works for a handful of games, it will not work for every game. Or that's what he said, okay. Also, I think what also plays into the hands of some older games that are now liked is simply that you can mod them, you can fix them to some degree. For example, in the case of Pro Street, I hated that game on launch, and I would still hate it if I had to play the PlayStation version, right? Like, the only reason why I like Pro Street now is because it's fixed, right? You get a nearly flawless version of Pro Street on the PC. You can get rid of the weird handling, frame rate lock, continue bugs, DLC problems, right? You can get rid of everything and enhance the game further, right? Now the Pepega mod actually adds more gameplay content, right? The way I see it is that it's because it's fixed, right? If the game released like that on launch, it would have had a much different it would be much differently received by the community. Yeah, that's actually one of the points that I always say myself, is that I really hated the 8 finish lines in Burnout Paradise, because there's only so many times you go to that observatory before you go crazy, man. Especially, there were very few events at the observatory, so you go up to the observatory and then you're basically immediately out of shit to do, because all of the events up there are already taken, so you have to drive all the way back. It was at some point during the stream that someone told me about, hey, you can just restart the event to get a teleport. That was pretty sweet. Yeah, and I think a lot of people also had my experience in the regard of, they didn't like Pro Street too much, but Undercover was much worse. Like, Undercover actually felt like a cheap, bad knockoff Need for Speed. But I want to see the next Need for Speed. I want another Most Wanted, man. If I can choose for a theme, I want another Most Wanted. I want to see them making better cops. I think that would be my wish, my dream. I want to experience the tight, exciting cop chase experience from Most Wanted. Like, I want them to make even better cops and better physics. I'm very afraid we will never ever get anything like it. And Most Wanted might be an anomaly, you know, so good it can't be beaten. The thing is, how many franchises do you know have that? Do you know about any other franchises that have, like, their magnum opus, the best game ever in their franchise, and it was never even remotely reached? Because none of the features in the Need for Speed franchise, in my opinion, tops what they did in Most Wanted. Saints Row, yeah, but I mean, that franchise is dead now, right? I was kind of going with ongoing franchises. I just find it very sad that after 20 years, they were not able to match the excellence of Most Wanted, you know? I would be the first one to admit that the new Need for Speed is better. But they have to prove it to me, right? They actually have to make a better game. And that would only really work if they make a better version of Most Wanted, honestly, because if it doesn't have the Most Wanted gameplay, it's gonna be too different to judge it fairly. I remember being really disappointed when they said, okay, here's Unbound, and now we're gonna do Christmas Break. Do you remember that time Unbound released? Everyone was unsatisfied with the content and they were like, we're doing Christmas Break. See you next year. Fuck off. I was so mad. The game was in such a shitty state and they just take a break. Like, the game needed urgent attention and they just took a break. And in my opinion, that really broke the neck of the game. Like, sure, they came back and patched the game into a better state, but nobody cared anymore. It was too late. I really like the DLC this game has. If you go online in this game, there's plenty of fun to be had. I'm just saying it doesn't happen too often that, you know, a franchise just stagnates so hard like Need for Speed, where PlayStation 2 games are better than what you get on modern consoles. Yeah, I feel like that doesn't work if the franchise is ended, you know what I mean? I think the entire point was, you know, do they still make, let's say, new Assassin's Creeds, but, you know, there was like one game in the past that was way better than all the new ones. And, you know, at the very least, some aspects should be better. And honestly, graphics, in my opinion, is not a very relevant aspect. Sure, you can tell me this game has better graphics than Most Wanted, but I just don't care. The handling is worse, which in my opinion shouldn't be difficult. In my opinion, it should not be a problem to put a car handling model into a new game. Like every time they have a new engine on their hands, they have to come up with a new handling model, and it's frustrating as hell. What happened to them was that they were overwhelmed with getting this game out, and then they were pissed that people didn't like it because EA forced them into it. Probably. I mean, at the end of the day, your own opinion matters more than anything anyways. But, man, if basically the entire world is in agreement that this game's handling model is shit, then the developers should have done something about it before it released, right?
Sending you the location.
I cannot believe they would be this oblivious to just ignore the fact that people want to have fun while racing. If the racing feels weird, that, you know, they're gonna feel weird about it. Dude, what's going on? What just happened to my car? I had 0. What the fuck, man? It just stopped steering. What the hell? It just went straight. That was such a weird feeling. Like the brakes didn't work, the steering didn't work, it just went straight. Okay, now it's happened again. Am I losing traction? Somehow is the car going airborne? And they can't make proper physics. They haven't done proper physics in a very long time. And Criterion doesn't know how to do this stuff. Like Criterion and Break to Drift. They come from Burnout games. They don't know how to do this. They don't have the background. They don't have the physics knowledge. They would have to hire a professional that knows how, you know, the physics of a car works, like how it grips the ground. Yeah, I mean, you can feel. I remember they were boasting about that. You know, that racing car driver in Need for Speed Underground, Mark DeVellis, I think, is how he introduced himself. He helped tune the cars for Need for Speed Underground. On the road, always obey the rules and wear seatbelts, right? The thing is, it really just feels like they're throwing shit on the wall and they keep what sticks. That's kind of what the physics in this game feel like. Wait, why can't I escape? I don't have to do these missions normally. This is not how this game works. What changed? Why is it just this safe house that is locked? Are you seriously kidding me, man? I mean, sometimes you have people that can't do their job, right? Or it's just really hard because of the engine they have to use, right? There's a million reasons why things go south. It's just disappointing that they don't have the time and money to make what they need to make. Can you imagine being the voice actor and then everyone's like, man, I hate his voice. And everyone's saying, he did a much worse job than the female one. Passive cops, yeah, it's a miss. It's a miss for sure. But you know, in order to have difficult cops, you also need ways to fight them. You know, Most Wanted was Speed Breaker and Pursuit Breakers, 2 features that are missing in this game. So if you make the cops stronger, you need to think about physics, how to make the players stronger. Right, I want the cops to be threatening, but I also want to have something to fight back with. Yeah, but even if you remove the color grading, it doesn't change the base game, right? One thing that Need for Speed needs to get right in the future is the basics. You need to have a handling model that people like. You need to have character models that people like, and not this anime shit that everybody's complaining about. And you need a story that is not completely ass, right? The basics, right? Then you can think about stuff like color grading.
This is a nice
right?
car.
Color grade the shit out of this game. People are still gonna hate it, right? I think that's at least it's clear to me, right? You change this one little thing, it's not gonna change anything for people's opinion. Like they're still gonna hate on this game, even if the colors are good. They are super stiff, like the cars are way too annoying to drive. It doesn't fit the arcade racing. You need a long answer for my perfect racing game. It doesn't have to be perfect, man. I think that is one thing that even especially the developers should hear. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, just focus on the basics. Have a good handling, add the features that people are asking for. Like for Need for Speed, it would be good handling, lots of cars and cool customization, and a fun gameplay loop. And for me personally, I love the interaction with cops. Right? Like I really enjoy the pursuit system in Most Wanted. Like I want that to have a return. Another thing I'd love to see would be the physics from Pro Street, but not the driving physics, not the handling, the crash physics. Pro Street has by far the most realistic crash physics, and they're really fun. Like you get off track and your car tumbles over and you total your car. It's so fun. Especially when it happens around 400 kilometers per hour. And yeah, you can't go wrong with an engaging story, you know? Like in Most Wanted you had two antagonists, right? You were worried about the cops, but you were also worried about Reza and his team, or another Blacklist. Like it's a good structure to have in a game where it's like, okay, so I need to beat this guy to unlock the next guy and so on, right? To keep you invested. Right, I've played them all, I have a pretty good understanding of what works, what is fun. Simply, by playing it yourself, you know, one thing that is super engaging to me was Pink Slip Races. That was so fun. It's a Midnight Club LA, it's a Need for Speed High Stakes, and probably some other games I can't think of right now. But I love that mechanic. It's such a fat reward, it's really exciting. Especially because you would lose your car, right? You mess up, your car is gone. Like that's something, you know, these things that make you feel alive. Even if it's just a video game, right? Who the fuck cares? It's fun. Trying to think if there's anything else that I would really like to see. You know, when it comes to game modes, so for example, I really like the game mode of the high speed challenge in Pro Street. But once again, that was fun because when you made a mistake, you would wipe out at 400 kilometers per hour and you could see your car getting destroyed. Very similar to Burnout. You know, Burnout celebrated the crash. And if you don't have good crash physics, crashes are really boring to watch. Like most modern Need for Speeds, you're gonna hit something, your car is gonna spin 1 or 2 times, maybe even flip over once, and then it's over. Oh yeah, when it comes to Perfect Need for Speed, it needs to have a banger soundtrack. It adds so much to the mood. Even if it's just the menu music that is a banger. You wanna get people into the mood. Like every time you boot up Most Wanted, you're like, fuck yeah, or Pro Street, or Underground. Like all of those games, man. You boot them up and the soundtrack is just, fuck yeah. That's what I need right now. Dude, if I had to put myself into the shoes of Criterion, they are probably really excited right now. Can you imagine? You work on Need for Speed as best as you could and people still don't like your game. That's frustrating. Now, they probably had a much easier time making Battlefield, and people are enjoying the hell out of that game. But even if they didn't like the story too much, right? That high that you get from, you know, being part of a successful game is way different than, you know, working on something and people don't care about it. You know, it's kind of what streaming feels like. If I do something that people enjoy, streaming is way better. If I stream something that people don't care about, streaming is a bit of a chore. That's how I imagine they would be feeling. Like I think Criterion is probably enjoying their time making Battlefield. The thing is, every time this game is on the screen, someone is complaining, and that's the reason why so many people don't play this game, never buy it, etc., right? It just gets hate left, right, and center. Alright, Shots Unbound Remix, what a mod, very fun. We recommend it to check out. For sure. Okay guys, I'm tired, sleep tight, do come back tomorrow for more, and good night, hot shots. Bye bye. See you soon.